What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ground Zero Podcast. I am Rob.
And I am Chad.
And this is the only podcast whose opening music might be considered for a Grammy Award.
Oh, that good, huh?
Let's go.
That good. Do it.
Already. With me having to edit out. We're 20 seconds into the podcast.
I told you when we started this
that
SPM, I was going to be a problem.
You did warn me.
Yes, the swears permitted, people.
Yeah, this is a high-octane, high-SPM show.
Put them in little messages or whatever.
Thanks to Chad.
Maybe we're going to have to start like an official gambling thing.
No. So
that people can literally bet on how often I will swear throughout the entire episode. Over or under 50, my friend. What would you bet?
If I were a betting man, which I am not.
Yeah, you don't think I could get through this with under 50?
I think it's not likely based on the extra hour and a half that I had to edit the last episode. I would say it's not likely.
Lord help me if my mom ever watches these.
Well, just pretend your mom's watching, dude.
My mom, who's in her 70s, well, it wouldn't change anything other than how things happen at the old family dinners.
I love you, Mom, but not enough to not swear on my podcast.
So you think over 50?
Over 50.
Okay.
We're at 1.
Yeah.
I should have a little counter in the corner. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm very conscious of it right now, but in about 2.5 minutes, I will forget. Yeah.
Once we start talking about a topic that you are heated about,
yes,
it doesn't matter.
I will get heated.
All the bumpers come off. The gloves get thrown off.
The non-swearing bumpers.
Those bumpers
right there.
Those bumpers. Yeah. Hey, did you notice that I am wearing my Seattle SuperSonics sweatshirt?
Yes, as people may or may not know, we are from the C-Town.
Yes.
Otherwise known as Seattle. That's many years ago. Many years ago, we lost our professional basketball team named
the Seattle SuperSonics.
See, this is the sad part is like you and I, this is just normal. And I would assume that people know who the Seattle SuperSonics are. But now I realize that there's this entire generation that is starting to grow up and not even know that we even had an NBA.
They have no idea.
Long. How long has it been? How long did we lose the Seattle SuperSonics?
But while he's looking that up,
I will look
while he's looking that up, I don't know if I shared this on a previous podcast or not. I don't think I have, but I have boycotted the National Basketball Association since we lost the Seattle SuperSonics. I have not watched a single basketball game.
Really?
I've watched college ball, and some of those college players made it to the pros, and I stopped watching them. I've seen highlights.
Yeah.
How long has it been? You want to
know the answer? You guess.
Okay, so I'm going to say 20 years.
You guess. 20 years ago?
Yeah.
You're a little too high on that, but not by much. They last season was 2008.
Oh my goodness!
So literally, we have a whole generation. Like, how old's your youngest kid?
He's 11. Just turned 11.
How old is your next youngest kid?
19.
19. So literally, you have like an entire generation of kids here that have no idea.
No idea. They know the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
I've never watched the Oklahoma City Thunder.
But they don't
play.
know the Sonics. They don't know Gary Payton. They don't know Sean Kemp.
I have not watched Steph Curry play a full game of basketball. Yeah. I've seen him in highlights and stuff. I allow myself to watch highlights. So I know, like, if the Golden State Warriors win a championship, I see that. But I have not watched him play his pro career. I've seen him play in college.
Yeah.
An entire game.
Your kids have grown up without knowing a deadlift shrimp.
Oh, my. Deadlift was a nice guy.
Deadlift shrimp. I used to valet at a restaurant called Benjamin's in Seattle when I was in college.
Yeah.
And, of course, they had a couple Sonic events there back in the day.
Yeah.
And he, of course, would not remember my smiling, charming face.
Oh, but don't sell yourself short.
I will tell you this. Let me tell you a little story as we kind of go into the Seattle SuperSonics thing. So in college, I was a valet to work my way through, type of thing. So we would do a bunch of private events throughout Seattle, and the SuperSonics were big back then. Okay,
they existed back then.
They existed. They were big, but it was also the time during like Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. So it was the highlight of like the Seattle SuperSonics for us on our end. So, and he if he watches this, Gary Payton watches this. Yeah, this is the story I have to tell you. So I was doing, I was after a Seattle SuperSonics game. I was working downtown. It was like 11, whatever when the games got out. And I believe the restaurant was either Aubergine, which was opened by Wolfgang Puck back in the day, or it was Planet Hollywood, because Planet Hollywood was there, and they were kind of big during. It was one of those down there, and the game. I think the game was over, and Gary Payton came to the restaurant, and we took his car. So we took his car, one of my valets, parked in one of the garages along the way. Of course, it's Gary Payton's car. And I will tell this to you, people. If you have a nice car, the valet will with it. Okay? And we will see if you hand those keys to a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
And they will see how fast it can go. So anyways, he parked his car. We parked his car, the whole deal. And I was supervising. I was actually running the stand, the event. So he comes out and we are going to go get his car. So one of my other valets went and got his car. I got another ar. So we're exiting the parking garage. We're at a red light. Gary Payton's car. And I'm driving like a Suburban. Okay. At the time. What do you think we did? It's like 1, 2 in the morning.
Gunned it on that green light.
We both gunned it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so his car hops off. I can't remember what type of car it is, but it hops off the line, going well.
Yeah.
However, I'm driving this Suburban. I think it had like an 8 or 10 cylinders off it. So my valet, thinking he's way ahead of me, okay, decides that he's just going to make a sudden lane change, hard right or whatever, and then make the right-hand turn to be able to go down to the restaurant. What he doesn't realize is that Chad has now kicked in all 8, 10 cylinders of the Suburban, and it has now hopped off after a while, right? So he makes this lane change without even looking.
Oh no!
Okay.
Oh no!
Without even looking. Almost takes me out. We almost blew the out of Gary Payton's car.
So you did not make contact.
We did barely. I mean, by like the hair.
All right.
Type thing. So we almost okay. So Gary Payton, if you're watching this as a teenage valet who was actually the supervisor, I was not driving your car, but some guy I don't even remember was driving a car, almost wrecked your car.
Okay, GP, if you're watching, we got one more story about you. You wouldn't think this. All right, so I was working private security.
Okay.
And there's a club up in Seattle called the Esquire Club, right?
Oh.
It's an old gentleman's club, but then it got turned into just a regular nightclub. So I'm on the door. We've got these rules posted right when you walk in the door. And one of the rules is no denim. Okay. So who shows up in a denim suit? Gary Payton.
Not Gary Payton.
Gary Payton with his entourage. And he comes in.
And denim was a little more popular back then in the 90s, right?
So he's wearing the Canadian tuxedo. And I tell him, I said, man, I can't let you in. He's like, what do you mean? Do you know who the bleep I am? And I'm like, yeah, I know who you are, Mr. Payton, but I cannot let you in. The rules say. Right. And so he's like, do you know how much this suit costs? And he starts telling me how much the suit costs. And I'm like, that's a really nice denim suit, but the sign says no denim.
I wonder how much his car cost.
So a lot. I'm sure he would tell you how much it costs. So then, so the manager gets called, and the manager comes to the door, and he is like, oh man, don't worry about this. This is a VIP. We're gonna let him in. We're gonna let him. And then I go, is he paying cover for all of his people? No, we're gonna let them all in.
Gary Payton doesn't pay cover.
So Gary Payton and his entire entourage come in, right? The manager says, man, you're going to make us look bad. And that's Gary Payton. I said, I know who that is, but we got rules for a reason, man. You pay me to enforce the rules, not bend them. So I told him, I said, by the way, I don't think Gary's coming here to spend money. The way I heard them talking as they were waiting to come in, I think they're here to just take people with them to their party. Sure enough.
Doing a little talent acquisition.
They had a boat down in the harbor.
Okay.
And Gary came and swooped up all the pretty ladies, took them with him, didn't pay cover, took all of them, and then the place was dead, so dead that we had to close early that night. And so I'm just telling you,
Gary Payton shut down the strip
club. Gary shut it down. It wasn't a strip club. It was an old gentleman's club called the Esquire Club. But that's just the kind of guy he was. And then remember when they were remodeling the arena and they were playing in the Tacoma Dome?
D-Town.
My girlfriend at the time, her dad had season tickets. And so when we went to the Tacoma Dome, because of the size difference, we were like on the third row, right behind the players' bench. Yeah. If you think Chad cusses, you should hear Gary Payton during a game. Every other word.
I will tell you, I can outcuss Gary Payton.
No, I don't think you can, buddy.
I'm
not saying you should try.
I invite him onto our show.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
I challenge the
Whoa.
to be able to outswear.
Oh man, GP, are you with me?
Because if you think that I won't rise to that challenge, triple digits, easy.
Okay, buddy.
The bad part for you is you have to edit it. How do you edit that conversation,
dude? I wouldn't. I just wouldn't do it.
And
it would
again,
just be
Gary,
one long
I would like to know how much that car was back in the 90s that I would have wiped out.
Way too much. More than you can afford, my friend.
I was making like $9 an hour as a valet. I was making like $9 an hour and like 10% of the overall tips.
You know what's
supervisor.
Sad? You know what's sad? Remember when you got your first like $10 an hour job and you're like, "Ooh, this is good money."
Oh yeah, yeah. I started at $4 an hour, so 10 was big, right?
All right,
but man, you give me another shot at your car, Gary.
The challenge is
on. Bring it on.
Man. Speaking of denim suits, you know the last place I saw a denim suit was?
Where'd you see a denim suit, my friend?
On the 2025 Recording Academy
did you?
Grammy Awards.
Did you?
Yes, on the Grammy Awards. Did you watch the Grammys?
You know, I'll be honest. I used to watch that kind of stuff when I was younger. I feel like it's lost its cachet.
You know what? I would agree with you.
The net.
I would agree with you that the Grammys, I mean, all the award shows, CMAs, Grammys, Academy Awards, the ESPYs, the Golden Globes, all of them just aren't as, I don't know, they just don't have the same oomph that they used to have. But I am interested in who's going to take home what, especially the big awards, right? Because, you know, it's just like a fight card. You put all the smaller ones up front, and then you make people wait till the very end to get the big ones. And so I was actually...
You mean like the best editing?
Well, yeah, you put best podcast producer, and then they get the award. You know how it goes, right? The award for most swears on a podcast goes to... Most
articulate podcaster.
Exactly. So is that really, that's the award that you want to go for?
I so want to get Gary Payton on this thing.
Okay.
We're just launching. We're new.
Gary, if you're listening
here, so that I can tell you these stories, that we can come clean, and I can show you how a real man swears.
So okay. I'm gonna run down the winners.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Some of these were surprising, some of them were not surprising at all. Best rap album went to Doechii. Alligator Bites Never Healed. Now, listen, I had never really heard Doechii because I stopped listening to, mainstream rap a while back.
Yeah.
But my girl's got flow. Okay, Doechii, she could flow. Best rock album.
Okay.
Now, this was kind of New Blue Sun by Andre 3000.
They still around?
Yeah.
Andre 3000 part of that group?
Yes. And
guys.
But best rock album, right?
Best rock album.
Yes, best rock album.
They did that song. Hey now.
Yeah.
You like my singing?
Hey Outcast. Best dance / electronic album went to Charlie XCX for Brat. And if you're not listening to that kind of music, it doesn't matter.
Oh, do I? I'm all over it.
Best dance / electronic recording. She's Gone, Dance On by Disclosure.
Did Taylor Swift win any by chance?
Wait. That's a good question. And honestly, that's one of the controversies about no, listen.
When
she was just honored to be in the same category with some of these other musicians and artists. But this is the closest Taylor came to winning one. Best pop duo / group performance, Us by Gracie Abrams featuring Taylor Swift.
So let me get this straight.
She was on
that
a
girl
featured
makes
album.
Billions of dollars. She didn't win?
She came off the most financially successful tour of all time, and she didn't win this year.
You know, this is what I like in that too. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger, either it was Sylvester Stallone, said, "I don't make movies for awards. I make movies that are watched and make the dollars."
Yes. Yeah. A lot of people do feel that way. But some people are competitive and they want to win the award. You know what I mean? Like, let's say, I know we got some friends that do a podcast. If there was a podcast awards out there, wouldn't you want to, and we were nominated for the same award, wouldn't you want to win?
Oh, but we it's obvious.
But here's the deal. Nobody cares about who's nominated until they're nominated. And then it's like, oh, well, I could actually win one, right? So anyway, best pop solo performance for the song Bodyguard went to Beyonce. Okay. Best pop vocal album.
Not Tay-Tay, huh?
Nope, not Tay-Tay.
Am I saying that, or is that one of the names with her? I'm looking off our camera at one of our little Taylor Swift.
Okay,
friends,
yeah.
That's Tay-Tay?
Well, Taylor was nominated for this next one. Best pop vocal album.
Best pop vocal album.
She did not win.
She didn't win, huh?
Sabrina Carpenter won with Short and Sweet.
Who sold more, though? Did she sell more?
I'm pretty sure she sold more.
So isn't Sabrina Carpenter supposedly like the next like Taylor Swift? be like coming to.
I don't think she's the next Taylor Swift. I think she's the first Sabrina Carpenter. She's her own person, man. Don't degrade her like that by calling her the next Taylor Swift. Come on. Best new artist, Chappell Roan. Okay, I will say this about Chappell Roan. I did watch her do her acceptance speech.
Oh, did you?
And she got up there and you could tell that she was shook. I mean, she wasn't quite expecting it. She knew it was a possibility because she had written down some names, obviously. But this was what surprised me. She said, I promised myself a long time ago that if I ever won a Grammy, I would stand up for artist rights. So she opens this journal that she has and she starts reading a speech that she had written a while back, condemning the practices of the music industry and labels. Because
you went deep.
Starving artists.
You went deep with our speech.
Yeah, they don't have that base salary and they don't have benefits.
She could have come and worked as a valet for me.
She could have for $9 an hour. She might have been better off.
Nice cars you've ever seen.
She might have been better off.
Yep.
I mean, she was working like in a fast food joint or something.
She could have driven Gary Payton's car.
She could have drifted it. Yeah. So, and then here we go. Song of the year.
Okay.
Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. Gotcha.
But also,
so Taylor got nothing.
Record of the year.
Nothing.
Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar.
She didn't even get that. Okay. This rigged.
Let me tell you.
No, I'm sorry. As we all know,
yes.
I have a love-hate relationship with Tay.
Yeah.
But the reality of all of this is, come on, this ain't legit. You cannot be that financially successful with your music and get shut out of every single one.
And as surprising as that is, and you would think that would be the controversy of the
and I'm actually supporting
Grammys,
her,
right?
So you know this real.
So you would think that the top touring artist of all time not winning a Grammy, that alone would say fixed.
Good songwriter, right? The whole deal.
Somebody's got a grudge against her, you would say.
It's fixed like this.
But what if I told you
this weekend?
Brother, that is overshadowed by the fact of these last two awards. I saved them for last.
Okay, here we go.
Best country album of the year went to Beyoncé.
Okay.
Cowboy Carter, which also coincidentally won album of the year.
So remember this, all you Tay fans, that I am supporting your singer, your person.
Yeah.
Okay. But Beyonce ain't country.
That's what you would think, but she's got a Grammy to prove otherwise.
Okay,
so
I've heard some of the music.
How legit is a Grammy now?
Oh, please. She couldn't even win that off of the American Country Awards. How the
was she even invited to the CMAs?
I think she was, the Country Music Awards, but she couldn't even get it there. She got nothing.
Of course not.
So how the is she representing them?
These are not country. These are not country people voting for this award.
I know, but if the country people aren't voting for you, how the hell are you going to say she's country? Taylor Swift would have won the country.
Back when she was a country artist.
She's more country than Beyonce has ever been.
She's keeping a tally over there.
Fuck you. And the horse she rode in on.
Apparently, Cowboy Carter rode in on a horse.
So
and
remember this:
Grammys.
if I say anything negative about Taylor in future episodes, future podcasts, that I expect that crew to come support me.
Listen, there's no
Beyonce's
if about
not country.
It. There is no if about it. Chad will say some negative stuff about Taylor. He will, guaranteed 100%.
Saying Beyonce's country is like saying I'm a good singer.
I will say this for all of our woke fans: she is the first black woman to win the country category. Because how many other black women country artists are?
There have been a lot more black country singers that are females throughout the years.
Telling you. Okay, I will say this because it is Black History Month. Congrats to our black peoples for listen.
Let me ask you this question.
We took over track and field. That's ours. Okay. Basketball. That's ours. Okay. Football is ours. Now, y'all still have curling and hockey, but we're taking over the country Grammy Awards.
My friend, let me ask you this question.
Reparations.
That music, that song, that album, if it was not done by somebody whose name was Beyonce, would it have won?
If it was Cowboy Carter by Rob Brower, it wouldn't have been nominated.
But now
it would have been glossed over.
Now by Chad Link, that was all over it.
You probably would have won 2 Grammys for that album.
Yeah, best singer, best album, best looking singer,
most SPMs on an album ever. Oops.
See, look at that. I don't do that.
Oh man, but okay. Of all this controversy that we're talking about, one of the most controversial things ever, though, however,
how are we going to wrap this up?
It was not who won at the Grammys. It's who was not even there at the Grammys. Who is washed up? Who's not even nominated for an award anymore?
Inform me, my friend.
You know who I did not see? You know who I did not see? I did not see Sean Puffy Combs at the Grammys. Why?
He was otherwise booked. That was pretty good. He was actually otherwise booked.
He was booked up.
What, in Rikers Island? Where the f- is he booked?
I don't know where he's at. That's a good question.
Where is he booked right now? Where is he singing?
Like a canary. Nobody knows.
Yeah, or maybe he's just in like the city, New York City jail. It's supposedly a bad one, wherever the he is.
If anybody is going to take the old Negro spirituals and turn them into a new rap album, it's going to be P Diddy.
He was otherwise booked, my friend.
Yeah, he's otherwise predisposed
for the legalese for alleged behavior.
Allegedly.
Alleged behavior.
So obviously we want to talk about this a little bit. I mean, it's a big topic. We weren't sure if we wanted to broach it, but I mean, it's just all over the news. You cannot get away from it.
We will talk a few minutes about it.
We will talk just for a few minutes. Okay.
Well,
so here's one thing. Just if you didn't know, in November of 23, Combs' former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, filed a lawsuit accusing him of rape, sex trafficking, and physical abuse throughout their decade-long relationship. The lawsuit was settled. It was settled the following day. Settled the following day for an undisclosed amount.
But then what happened after that?
More lawsuits. Following Ventura's lawsuit, additional allegations emerged in November of 2023. 2 women filed separate lawsuits accusing Combs of sexual assault and revenge porn dating back to the early 90s.
That's that. All like I said, all the minor ones.
Revenge porn. I had never heard of that.
Well, because
like I'm mad at you. You burnt my dinner. I'm gonna go make a porno. What?
I mean, because back in our day, we didn't have cell phones to record this.
So yeah. And then came the federal indictment and arrest in September of 2024.
Always good when the feds come for you.
He was indicted on federal charges, including sex trafficking, racketeering, transportation for purposes of prostitution. The indictment allegedly, that between 2008 and 2024, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women, leading a racketeering conspiracy that engaged in various crimes. He was denied bail.
A couple times, if I remember right.
And he remains in custody, you asked, at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn.
That's the next step or whatever? Got it.
He's awaiting trial.
Yeah, and if I remember right, in the in-between of all that, there was a video that was released. That was
several videos have come out.
Slightly alarming. In fact, he paid like $100,000 to the security people at the hotel to keep it. But then that question that I want to know: you pay $100,000 to get the video. Did you not make sure you got all of it?
Well, and that's the thing.
Then it got released.
That's the thing. You know how to guarantee that your sex tape doesn't get leaked to the public?
Make one.
Don't make one.
Well, and it wasn't a sex tape.
Well,
he was caught beating the living daylights out of her in a hallway.
Any illicit stuff that you do.
Well, I'll tell you this: if you're gonna pay $100,000 for the freaking video, make sure you get all of it.
Yeah. So in January,
or just not do it.
In light of all this, in January they expanded the indictment. Prosecutors expanded the indictment to include allegations spanning 2 decades, adding new victims, detailing crimes of abuse, coercion, and participation in orchestrated sexual performances known as freak-offs.
Everybody loves a good freak-off.
I mean, would they print invite cards?
Probably.
Did you get an e-invite?
It was a freak-off with a lot of baby oil.
Would you like to attend P Diddy's Freak-Off 2021? Click yes or no. I mean,
I'm not so certain that that I would have been invited to those. I'm not quite certain I was within his crowd.
Listen, I don't care who the person is. I don't care how eccentric they is. If you open a closet and you see wall-to-wall baby oil, there's something going on. Something is not right. It smells a foul.
Oh, who you fooling, Rob? You have a closet full of baby oil?
Man, I wonder if this hurt or helped their stock. Johnson & Johnson's baby oil.
I will tell you this, Mr. Combs, things are not looking up for you.
I mean, do they cut live?
I don't think he's going to be at the next Grammys either.
they're at the Brooklyn Detention Center filming commercials for baby oil.
The local prison talent show he will be at. But
with all the baby oil.
I think Sean and Harvey may be sharing
oh my God.
Sharing an abode.
Yeah, so Combs right now is facing numerous civil lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct.
From what I'm reading, like 24 plus. I'm certain that's it's going to get higher.
A former dancer filed a $50 million lawsuit claiming she was coerced into sexual acts during Combs' parties, those freak-offs and whatnot.
This feels like a Weinstein situation.
Oh, it's bad, dude. Friend. It is bad. The hashtag #MeToos are coming out.
And that did not work out well for him.
Nope, did not.
There's in my words, there's a lot of going on, but not the type you want.
Oh man, wow. See, and this is part of why I didn't want to open this topic. The public response has been
hopefully not good.
The professional repercussion. In response to the allegations, several brands and companies have severed ties with Combs.
What did you?
Maybe except for Johnson & Johnson's baby oil. Macy's removed Sean John clothing from their stores. Combs stepped down as the chairman of Revolt TV, and additionally, Hulu canceled a planned reality series centered on Combs and his family.
Oh, they should have just, you know what they should have done? They should have just switched lanes.
They should have.
Because it should have been just a reality show based upon his prison time.
They say that Last Man Standing, featuring Sean P. Diddy Combs. They say there's no such thing as bad publicity. So check this out. There's not one, not two, not three, but four series / movies have come out. First, The Fall of Diddy came out.
I wonder how those are when he's watching those. You know, they said Bernie Madoff would watch all of his like specials like American Greed and shit like that in jail. So I wonder.
I don't know.
I wonder how that goes over in jail.
They all gather around.
Well, there's a lot of behavior there. Some of it jail friendly and some of it not.
So that 5-part docuseries, Fall of Diddy, was released in January by Investigation Discovery, and it delves into the various allegations, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then there's Diddy, the making of a bad boy for life. 2025, January, came out on Peacock. There is the untitled Sean Combs docuseries by 50 Cent. He announced this back in September.
I feel like you really know you've fallen when 50 is doing
50 Cent's making a docuseries on you.
Yeah.
I wonder if 50 Cent's gonna send him a song on his birthday.
Oh, you know he's with
Go
him.
Diddy.
Oh,
it's your birthday.
You know he's with him.
It's untitled,
and I don't mean that like.
And no, not literally. I get it. But here's pretty cool. This is pretty cool for 50 Cent. Proceeds from the project are intended to support victims of sexual assault and rape.
There seems to be a lot of them from allegedly from old Sean P. Diddy Combs, which is sad because during our time, right, his songs were kind of big in junior high and high school, right?
He made the most money off of other people's music than anybody else in the industry.
He
sampled everything.
That song, you know, that was with the sample for Biggie, you know.
Oh yeah.
All that, you know, a little dancing.
No, yeah. I think almost every single one of his hits is sampled.
All those. Oh, of course it is.
He's like the world's greatest sampler.
Of course.
No, I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say it. The last
sampling going on where he's at.
Oh, not in a good way. The Honorable Shine 2024 is a documentary that centers on the rapper Shine, a former protege of Combs. It chronicles Shine's life, including his incarceration, related to a 1999 nightclub shooting involving Combs.
Wasn't old J-Lo around there? Wasn't there a little car chase?
Man.
Gun found in a car or something? I don't know if that's the same one.
Yeah.
But
it says that in the film, Shine alleges that Combs set him up to take the fall for the incident, describing Combs' actions as demonic and malicious. I mean, maybe these were all early warning signs. Maybe we should have known. The guy called his label Bad Boy.
Well, no.
Bad Boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
No, it's like dating a girl named Chastity. Most likely going to be a stripper.
Wow. My apologies to anybody named Chastity out there who is not a stripper.
I'm sorry. I'm just joking. Allegedly become a stripper.
Allegedly. So, what's your take on this this whole P. Diddy?
Well, my take is this. For someone who had so much,
yeah,
want to get like really serious here, to see it all wasted for those reasons. Unfortunately, a lot of that stuff creeps in. I mean, it's throughout the business, right? You know, even like Steven Tyler wrote in his autobiography about, I think there was like some young teenage girl he took on tour and all these other things, right? It's throughout. But back in our time, it really wasn't called out, right? It was just, hey, you're a rock star. This is just part of that. And if you throw yourself in that pool, you get what you deserve. That was just what was thought of back then, unfortunately, right? So I think Mr. Combs, you know, when the feds get involved, it's hard to get out from underneath one. When you hear those things called racketeering and across state lines and all of those things, you know, I think Mr. Combs needs to get comfortable for the stay, as we say.
For the long haul.
Comfortable for the stay. I don't think all the money in the world is going to save him out of this. I think the boat's sinking, my friend. What do you think?
Well, you know,
what's going on with
really
him?
Weird, as we talked about this a little bit earlier, is there's a contingency of people who think, oh, he's not guilty. And I'm like,
that's true, though.
We don't know, though.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
I agree with you.
Right? That's part of our legal system. But it's so overwhelming when these other artists have come out and they, even though they haven't necessarily accused him, when a parent now.
The problem too is all this information comes out so immediately on the web and social
with
media
all the technology and stuff these days.
So there's
cell
just
phone
so
videos
much
weren't a thing back then.
Well, I mean, the video of him beating the out of a girl in a hotel
terrible.
hallway is kind of hard to say.
So there's a lot of condemning evidence against him for a lot of stuff, and so if we were just look at his character,
a lot of alleged stuff,
speaks very poorly to his character. And so when you say,
doesn't
okay,
help.
if he's definitely capable of physical abuse, then maybe the sexual abuse isn't so far fetched.
Well, you know, if you're an alcoholic and found in the bar, it's hard for us to believe that you weren't drinking.
Maybe you were there handing out pamphlets for the midweek service.
Well,
I don't know.
That's the story you tell.
So I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I want to, but like I look at some of these other artists, and as a dad, as a dad, right? I look at some of these parents that went to his, recording camps and things like that, and they're asked straight up, "Do you think, Diddy did all stuff?" And they're not commenting, and then they're asked, "Would you send your kid to Camp Puffy?" And they said, "No, absolutely."
Yeah.
That kind of evidence to me speaks volumes.
Of course it does.
If you went to his camp and you have a successful recording career after that, and you can say, "Hey, P Diddy launched my career, but yet, even though my child is into recording, I would not send him to the same producer that launched my career." There's something there.
Well,
you don't have to say.
This is my advice, my friend.
To me or to P
just
Diddy?
the general world,
people,
in the whole world in general.
Listen up, y'all.
Don't beat the out of a woman. You won't end up in jail.
I mean, you might for other reasons. You wouldn't end up in jail for that.
Well, exactly. But it's a good start.
It's a good start.
It's good advice.
If you have a bucket list of things that you want to do and you have a list of things that you don't want to do, add that to your list of things you don't want to do.
Don't be swinging on a woman. Don't be giving 5 across the eyes or closed fists.
No assaulting people.
Or grabbing them by the hair and dragging down the hotel
kindergarten.
Hallway.
Keep your hands to yourself.
It is.
Keep your hands to yourself don't have any cell phone evidence.
Well, why don't we just go with the don't do it part?
Don't do it, but if you have to do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't. And if you pay $100,000 for the footage, make sure you get all of it.
Oh, man. So do you have anything else you want to add to this?
I don't. Like I said, I think Mr. Diddy is going to spend a lot of Grammys, a lot of years of Grammy Awards in prison. I think he's going to die there, and I'm probably sure it's probably allegedly deserved.
Do you think, though, if he's life in prison, that they would take a camera crew there and have him present an award? Best new rap artist goes to. I mean,
I think he's going to have a lot of more stringent concerns.
Do you think he's guilty of all the stuff they say he's guilty of?
I will say this. I am certain that he's guilty of a significant portion.
Yeah.
But I'm also not stupid in thinking that some people are just piling on for hopefully a quick payday when it's all
absolutely
done, right.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just part of it. It always happens. Maybe 90% of it's true and the other 10% isn't.
Yeah.
I bet you there's a bunch of people that may even been, consensually involved in certain things and certain actions and all that other good stuff. and are thinking, hey, if I can get my name in here, on the victims fund, I listen, it just is how it is. We're human beings and the human nature of all that. But like I said, there's so much smoke here, and not even just smoke, but actual like video evidence of the guy doing. So yeah, I'm sure he's guilty of the vast majority of it, but I'm also certain that there's somebody writing
those hypothetical bandwagoners. Now, I ain't saying they're a gold digger, but if P Diddy didn't have the money, would they still be coming out of the woodwork?
My guess would be probably no.
If he wasn't P Diddy or Puffy, if he was just Sean that they met at the bar and went and spent the night with, would they be coming after him now? No, I'm
sure the recollection of some events have changed.
Yeah, I'm sure
over the time. But again, not excusing anything he's done. But let's be honest, people. We're all humans, and people like a quick payday.
So I think we want to throw it to you guys, and I think we want to find out.
Oh, here we go.
It's our bomb drop of the week. Our bomb drop of the week is this. We want to know if you think he's actually guilty of all this stuff. So our bomb drop of the week is P Diddy or P didn't he? Ew.
He's been waiting to say that.
Yeah.
All day.
Not all day, just like an hour. Just like an hour.
He's very proud of himself.
We had a pre-production meeting. We're like, what should we call the bomb drop of the week? And then we came up with P Diddy or P didn't he. So head to groundzeropodcast.com and chime in.
Let me give you a little hint. Yes.
Chime in. We want to hear from you. Take our poll. You can go back. You can check out our previous episodes. We have a poll tied to every episode of Bomb Drop of the Week. We want to know, even if we've already discussed it. Now we will discuss the results of the bomb drops.
Your opinion. We want your vote.
2 weeks from now.
We want to be able to read what you say, how
Absolutely.
you feel, whether it agrees with us or not.
So, and you know what? This is my fault because I forgot to pull it up. But we got to look at the bomb drop from 2 weeks ago.
Oh, here we go.
So, Chad, keep him busy. Talk about something while I log in.
Again, if your name is Gary Payton and you played basketball for the Seattle SuperSonics and you would like to know what happened to your car back in the night, we're talking like 96-ish, 95, 96-ish. And I will also say this, valets go through your car. And I won't say what we found in some of these players' cars.
Really?
But that it's always interesting. I will leave it at that.
Man, I am struggling to pull up the right book.
Well, this is what happens when you're so proud of yourself with your bomb drop.
I was pretty proud of that bomb drop. I'm not going to lie.
The bed.
Pride goeth before the fall.
Part of it.
And, well, here's part of the problem is we are using these tablets. And this is the only time we use these tablets for this deal. And on my laptop, it pulls up quickly.
Gotcha.
So,
well, listen, I have filled the time.
You have filled the time.
This is now up to you.
But
Gary, literally reach out to us. We will put you on, and I will spank you like a dirty redheaded stepchild on Christmas.
No, allegedly.
With the swearing contest.
Okay. Glad you clarified because we ain't trying to have no freak offs over here.
How about if we invited him and there was just a table of baby oil?
And then Gary says, where did he at?
Yeah, we won't even mention it. We'll just have it on the table.
He says,
God.
He comes in, he goes, I didn't know this was a freak off. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. That is terrible. Mr. Payton, we're so sorry to besmirch your name.
We are not besmirching his name.
We might be a little bit.
I'm just telling the truth of what we did with his car back in the 90s.
Allegedly.
Well, that wasn't allegedly.
You can't remember.
We literally almost his car.
Yeah, and you can't remember what kind of car. Was it a sports car?
Oh yeah. It was definitely a sports car. I can't remember if it was a Porsche or what it was.
Wow.
I'll be honest, man. We got out of that car when it was time to hand it off to him, and he was a good tipper. I will tell you this. Unlike Bill Gates, who doesn't tip your valets whatsoever in the 90s, Gary Payton was a good tipper. I worked several different things with Bill Gates. I had him in the back of a van, okay, at one point because we were just shuttling back and forth from the parking lot to this multi-billion-dollar mansion. And he just wouldn't say a word, wouldn't talk to anybody, was too good for everybody. But Gary Payton, very, very good to us. And I'm sorry we almost did that. We think the tip. Who else was also very good? Slash. Slash was very nice to us. Weird Al Yankovic, very, very good to us.
All right. So here we have the bomb drop of the week from episode
ready?
4. Yes.
Finally ready.
Episode 1.04. Is the Cybertruck a real truck or just high-tech hype?
Was it even close?
The options were, yes, it's a real truck and it rocks. Okay. The other option, the one that both Chad and I voted for, was no, it sucks as a truck and is ugly as sin. And the winner by percentage was an overwhelming 96% said no, it sucks as a truck.
Sucks as a truck.
So apparently most of the people voting were not Cybertruck owners.
Yeah, we were.
Although I watched a video from a guy who has owned 3 Cybertrucks. And he
Why would you make that mistake?
He talked about the pros and cons. Well, he got them kind of all at the same time. And so he owns businesses and he has a YouTube channel and he bought one to test for his YouTube channel.
Got it.
And then he bought one for one of his businesses and it has like the business logo all over the side of it and that.
Oh, I would never put my business logo on.
Well, that's what he talks about in that video. He talks about, he goes, you know, it definitely is an eye catcher. So from a standpoint of marketing, it might be smart. He says, but I tell you this, we tow stuff in our business all the time. And our business rule is we do not tow anything with the Cybertruck. Because of all the failures that they have seen of that GigaCast breaking, which is not a feature, by the way. Your frame doesn't break when you tow something with a truck. That's not how that works.
It's not a truck if that happens.
It is not a truck.
So the vast majority of people say I'm the smartest man in the world.
No, the vast majority of the people say they agree
that I am the smartest man in the world.
That we both called it the Cybertruck ain't a real truck.
Adam Sandler style, I am a genius.
You are a genius.
Alrighty. Are we ready to wrap this up?
Hey, thanks for listening to us. This is the Ground Zero Podcast. I'm Rob.
And
we'll catch you guys next week.